English is back with you. Today I'm going to teach you how to attempt IELTS reading, and the question type is yes, no, not given. So first of all, let's discuss what is yes as per the standard. The statement would be considered yes if the statement agrees with the claim of the writer. Whatever is written in this statement, if it is agreeing with the information given in the passage, then it would be considered yes. Let's talk about if the statement contradicts the claim of the writer. Whatever is mentioned in this statement, it contradicts, like one contradiction could be there, then it will be considered no. So in the case of not given, if it is impossible to say what the writer thinks about this, so there is no probability of relevance in this statement and the statement given in the passage. So in this case, this would be considered not given. So let's discuss one by one. These are the 6 questions, and the tips for this sort of questions are, first of all, read all the questions, okay, and try to find some keywords, because if you just read one question and move to the paragraph, and in that case you will be finding only one the answer to the question number 21 only, then it will waste a lot of your time. So what if we get the keywords out of these 1 2 3 4 5 6 questions, and then we start scanning passage A. So if the information related to either of the questions, like from this to this, is available, then we will stop and we will try to compare and contrast the given statement, the question statement, and the statement given in the passage. Okay, so let's begin with, first of all, find which important word would be there. Okay, so water use per person is higher. So first of all, it's a water use per person, then it's a higher where in industrial world than it was in ancient Rome. So I believe just go for this word, ancient Rome. Okay, there you can find the water use. Okay, so ancient Rome would be the key word. For in this case, feeding increasing population. So feeding increasing populations is possible due to primarily to improved irrigation system. So let's talk about this keyword, like feeding increasing populations. If we can find such kind of word or words related to this, then it will be very fine. Okay, so let's move to the next, modern water system, and then imitation. The basic word is imitation. Whether we can find any imitation of modern water with the Greek and Romans. So the concept is imitation. All right, next one is industrial growth is increasing. So industrial growth is increasing the overall demand for water. Just go with industrial growth is increasing, then is compared to with the demand for water. Then in this case, modern technology have led to a reduction in domestic water consumption. So let's talk about the modern technologies and water consumption. Okay, whether these are reduced less or higher, it's a separate matter. And the next one is in future. It's about future. It's a might be in the end of the paragraph, because normally such opinions are given by the end. The government should maintain ownership. So real concept is about the ownership of water infrastructure. So is there a concept of ownership like related to water infrastructures? So these 6 keywords should be in mind while scanning the passage. Okay, so just keep in mind these these 6 keywords, and but it will help you. So our first keyword was ancient Rome, and ancient Rome and the water used per person, whether it is higher or otherwise it was separate. So let's go scan this passage. The history of the human civilization. The history of the human civilization is entwined with the history of the ways we have learned to manipulate water resources. As towns gradually expanded, water was brought from increasingly remote sources, leading to sophisticated engineering efforts such as dams and aqueducts. At the height of the Roman Empire, this word is there. 9 major systems with an innovative layout, pipes and well-built sewers supplied the occupants of Rome with as much water per person as is provided in many parts of the industrial world today. So it means as much water as is provided today. But in the statement he was saying it is higher. So the answer is no. Okay, we can put no in front of question number 21. Let's move to the next one. Is about the feeding increasing populations. Whether can we find such kind of word related to this one, I mean about food or like this. So it's saying that feeding increasing population is possible. Let's move to the next scanning passage. Okay, and the passage would be from, okay, that's from B. So during the Industrial Revolution, population exploded in the 19th and 20th centuries. The demand for the water rose dramatically. Unprecedented construction of the tens of the thousands of monumental engineering projects designed to control the floods, protect clean water supplies, and provide water for the irrigation and the hydro brought greater benefits to hundreds of millions of the people. Food production. Now, this is a word where we can find related to feeding. Has kept pace with soaring populations, mainly because of the expansion of the artificial irrigation systems. Okay, this very much word. Look at feeding increasing population is possible due to primarily to improved irrigation, and it's a definitely answer is yes. Okay, so let's move to the question. The 23rd is about the modern water systems imitation. So first let's find, is there any modern water system and is there any imitation? If there is, then we can just okay, let's move to the next one. C. Okay, all right. Yet there is a dark side of the picture. Despite our progress, half of the world's population still suffers with water services inferior to those available in the ancient Greek Romans. Okay, Greek and Romans are there, but he's talking about Greek and Romans, imitation, and modern water system. Well, he's saying that half of the world population still suffers with the water services inferior to those available, and he's talking about the inferior. He's not given like copying something or like said this. So the answer to question, it should be not given, because impossible to say that what the writer thinks about it. It is not true. There's no word imitation means copying something like this. So not given should be written over here. So the next question is, industrial growth is increasing the overall demand for water. So let's talk about the industrial growth. Okay, and start scanning further. Okay, all right, look at. So fine. The consequences of our world policies extend beyond jeopardizing human health. Tens of the millions of people have been forced to move from their homes, often with little warning or compensation, to make way for the reservoirs behind dams. More than 20% of all freshwater fish species are now threatened or endangered because dams and water withdrawal have destroyed the free-flowing river ecosystem where they live. Certain irrigation practices degrade soil quality and reduce agricultural productivity. Okay, can we find any word related to this over here or not? Let's move ahead. Groundwater aquifers are being pumped down the faster they are naturally replenished in part of the India, China, US, elsewhere. And disputes over shared water resources have led to violence and continue to raise local, national, and even international tension. There is no word related to, then we should move ahead. Okay. At the outset of the new millennium, however, the way resources planners think about it, water is beginning to change. The focus is slowly shifting back to the provision of the basic human and environmental needs as top priority, ensuring some for all instead of more for some. Some water experts are now demanding that existing infrastructure be used in smarter ways rather than building new facilities, which is increasingly considered the option of the last, so no first resort. This shift in pop philosophy has not been universally accepted, and it comes down to stronger opposition from some established water organization. Nevertheless, it may be the only way to address successfully the pressing problems of everyone with clean water to drink, so adequate water to grow food and lifetime from the preventable water-related illness. Still, we have not found anything where we can find anything related to the question was that it was about industrial growth is increasing the overall demand for water. Keep on. Okay, fortunately and unexpectedly, the demand for water is not rising. Look at this. The demand for water is not rising as rapidly as some predicted. Okay. As a result, the pressure to build new water infrastructure has diminished over the past 2 decades. All the population, industrial output, and economic productivity have continued to soar in the developed nations. It's just increasing the economic productivity, where in the developed nations, the rate at which people withdraw water from the aquifers, rivers, and lakes has slowed down. So this is the sentence, it has slowed down. But what he says in the question is increasing the overall demand for water. No, it has, it has slowed. So the answer to the question number 24 is no. Let's talk about 25. Question number: modern technologies have led to reduction in the domestic water consumption. Okay, let's keep on scanning ahead with whether we'll be in the position to finding something. Okay, fine. What explains this remarkable turn of events? Two factors. People have figured out how to use water more efficiently, and communities are rethinking their priorities for water use. Throughout the first 3 quarters of the 20th century, the quantity of fresh water consumed as per doubled onwards. In the USA, water withdrawal increased tenfold with the population quarter, but since 1980, the amount of the water consumed per person has actually decreased. Look at this. The amount of the water consumed per person has actually decreased, thanks to a range of new technologies. The modern technologies have led to reduction in the water consumption. So this statement and the statement over here, thanks to range of new technologies help to conserve water. It definitely has helped in reserving some water. So the answer to the question number 5 is yes. Okay, let's find in the future. It's about the government should maintain ownership of infrastructure. Okay, So if we just keep on moving ahead, because normally it is in the last passage, you can find any kind of things like this. I mean anything related to the government, or the government are going to occupy it or otherwise. Okay, fine. All right. On the other hand, dams requires another kind of infrastructure will still have to be built, particularly in developing countries where basic human needs have not been met. But such projects such as must be built to higher specifications and with more accountability to local people and their environment than in past, and in even regions where the new project seems warranted, we must find ways to meet demands of the few resources, respecting ecological criteria to a smaller budget. So there is no relevance to this government and maintaining the ownership. There's no concept. So the answer to question number is not given. So what we have extracted out of this passage is just focus on the rightful keywords. It is just because of the keywords, and moreover your scanning speed should be higher. Never try to understand the passage. Just stop where you find the relevant words and then try to just assimilate the information, particularly or specifically in the case of this type of category like yes, no, not given. Hope so you have enjoyed this video. If you want to get 9 bands in IELTS reading, just keep on watching my videos. Like hundreds of the videos will be available on YouTube channel and on my website as well. So keep on subscribing my YouTube channel named Free IELTS Essential, and visit my website www.freeieltsessential.com, or for further queries or to contact me, to reach me, just write an email at freeielts.freeielts@gmail.com. Mr. English will be back with you very soon with more innovative and learning oriented videos related to IELTS.